My name is Laura Avery. I am 64 years old. My profession is as a farmer's market supervisor, and when I started in this job, it was sort of an unknown commodity. It was a burgeoning young industry, and I had no idea what this whole thing was going to turn into. And here I am today, 31 years later, and I've been enjoying it pretty much every day as I did the very first day that I laid eyes on it. Being at the farmer's market, I've got friends who range from their 20s up until their 90s. So I'm in this wonderful sort of period in my life where like everybody's my friend, and I enjoy it more. I feel energetic and I feel engaged in what I'm doing. And I think I have a sort of a feeling of drive and inspiration that just kind of keeps me going. As I've gotten older, as I've gone through the literally decades that I've been at the farmer's market, it's funny because the past in a way has sort of compressed behind me. And if you think 30 years ago, it just seems like it's just like almost like a blink of an eye. And when I finally got glasses, when I was able to really take a look, I was sort of, oblivious. I've noticed the wrinkles, but I have an acceptance of it. I do. I do need to take gentle care of my skin and not expect it to just, march along and feel as good as I do. I think it's now time to give it a little extra help. Just because you reach my age, which is 64, doesn't mean that you can't reinvent yourself and go on to a whole new set of possibilities or a whole new endeavor anytime you want. When you talk about the timeline of life, like, oh, retirement has to happen here, or this particular time in life, or aren't you too old for that? Or when I tell people I'm 64 years old, it's like, oh, I don't believe it. And then I wonder, well, what kind of 64-year-olds are you hanging out with? I talked to some of my colleagues who are my age about retirement, and I asked one of her, are you going to retire? And she looked at me, she said, why should I? And then I thought, what am I even asking her this for? I'm not thinking about retirement. It's just something people talk about. So let's not talk about retirement anymore. Let's talk about our jobs. Let's talk about what we're doing. Let's talk about maybe the next project we want to get involved in. When I look in the mirror, the person that is looking back at me is somebody that I'm becoming better acquainted with day by day. And yeah, she's becoming a really good friend. I think the aging process is something that we are taught to start thinking about way too early. When I look at ads and I see everybody who's impossibly perfect, I guess that's an ideal that everybody is supposed to on some subliminal level, aspire to. I just sort of reject that idea. I don't think just being young is the key to feeling fulfilled in your life. You just really kind of need to live your life, be around people that make you happy, and continue to be vibrant. Given the chance to turn back the clock, I wouldn't do it. No, I would never want to get back. I look at these 20-year-olds and I go, I would not want to be 20 again.